Hi friends, we are back outside of another thrift store, and I was planning on just popping in, and then I was like, you know what, you guys liked Thriftmas so much coming along with me for the Thrift with Me's that I was like, I can't not take you along with me. For those of you that joined me during Thriftmas, hi, welcome. I'm so glad you are here. And for those of you that don't know what I'm talking about, I will link my Thriftmas playlist. We went to the thrift store every single day for the first 12 days of December. But if you remember, for my loyal followers, I was looking for a penguin for my son because I put one in his stocking every single year. I do the same with my daughter for a snowman. I have not yet found the penguin. It is the Friday before Christmas, and I am just wrapping up a few things. I'm like, oh my gosh, I need the penguin. So we are doing one last ditch effort at the biggest thrift store in town that also has the biggest hard goods section in town. If I cannot find Mr. Penguin here, then I am just going to succumb and go over to like Home Goods, TJ Maxx, Target area because I have to run over there anyway. We're gonna see what we can find. And then I was like, I still need a Christmas dress for my daughter because the one I thought we were gonna wear is too small. And so I'm gonna look here, and it is on the opposite side of the store. In between where Mr. Penguin might be and the Christmas dress might be are the aisles of where the new racks will be. I am nothing if not self-aware, and I know that I will not be able to pass by those new racks without flipping through every single one of them. So with that, we are going to go in, look through every single new rack we can find, see if we can find any goodies to resell, and then hopefully come out of the store with some goodies to resell, Mr. Penguin, and a Christmas dress. Let's go. As you can see, I headed straight over to the Christmas stuff because the penguin is priority one here. This store always has so many things. The prices can be on the high end though. You saw the sign, it's 50% off of silver tag. So if we can find anything silver tag, that is obviously going to be fantastic. Right away, I'm not seeing a lot of penguins. I always find lots of Santas, lots of angels, lots of snowmen. This store has a huge grab bag section, which I just tend not to go through, but I thought I might be able to find some stocking stuffers, and right away I found these cute little unicorns for my daughter that she is definitely in a unicorn phase and has a few of those. She's been making like fairy gardens outside, so those will be perfect. So I'm just trying to see what I can find. The stuff in here is so random, and if you take the time to dig through it, you can find stuff to resell, you can find stuff for your personal life. It's just a lot to go through. I'm happy to report that I spotted an entire another section of Christmas, which I didn't even notice when I came through the door the first time, and right away I am seeing the cutest little adorable Mr. Penguin. I think this will be perfect. I like to get them different sizes and textures and shapes throughout the years so that they have a huge, nice collection. So we're gonna keep looking to see if I find anything I like better, but for $3.50, that's definitely a snag, and that will be great. But here's your reminder, if you like to decorate for Christmas, check your local thrift stores, because I always find so much greenery and trees and lights and like train sets and snow globes and angels and just anything you could ever need, I always see in thrift stores. More grab bags. I decided to come back and finish looking because the Christmas section caught my eye, so I had to race over there. I had those exact same ice cream like bowls and scoops when I was growing up, so they were super cute. We had like the entire set. I mean, you can find new stuff here. You can find, I think those are little like ice cube molds. Those are for the, baby food maker. There is just all kinds of stuff here. I once found a discontinued Victoria's Secret like body spray that I sold on eBay for like $125. Actually, I think it ended up selling on Poshmark for $125. So you really never know what you're gonna find if you're willing to take the time to look through it. Sometimes I do, and sometimes I just race right over to the clothes. Okay, the bad news is I only see maybe one new cart right now, but they often will bring them out. So while we're here, I'll keep an eye on it, and we'll probably just scatter around to other places around the store. I really need to get some new heels because I have worn mine like completely down because I wear them a lot to work, and then I just walk at work, so the little like nail in the heel eventually kind of pops out and then they get slippery. So we'll look at some shoes probably, and once this person is done over the new rack, we'll go check that one out. On my way to that rack, I spotted this J. Crew puffer coat. J. Crew outerwear does really well for me, and puffer coats just in general. It was down, but I was trying to decide. I don't think it's supposed to be that color, and then I noticed it was missing a waist tag, so it was an automatic pass for me. If that had been in better condition, I would have grabbed it. All right, I was able to sneak over to that new cart, and here's a few things that I found. This is an Eloquii full-length dress. It's like a knit maxi dress. It's a size 18-20, but for $19, that's gonna be a hard no. I would have gotten that if it were cheaper. That London collection looked kind of nice for me, just the tag, but I ended up looking that up, and it seemed like nothing that was worth reselling, so I did end up passing it, but I gave it, a look. I was trying to check out the material content just to make sure I wasn't missing anything. I do like learning new brands. I'm constantly looking things up in the store. All right, this Victoria's Secret bra I might have grabbed for a couple dollars, but it was missing the size, so that's just gonna be a pass for me too. So as I was showing you those things, I realized to my right, I found this cashmere sweater, but for $13. Definitely not worth picking up for just a kind of a no brand. Here is a Lulu's dress that had stains all down the front. They still wanted $14 for it, which is just kind of crazy. So I did flip through a few of these just to see if anything was feeling like wool or cashmere or anything, amazing. But a lot of things were priced up. There was just nothing really. If that was a J. Crew sweater for $14. Some of these at the bins I might be grabbing, or if they were, a 50% off tag, like a silver tag that was worth doing, maybe I would consider it. But I spent just a little bit of time flipping through things and just really was not seeing much. Don't worry, anything that falls off a hanger while I'm filming, I always go back and pick it up. I know you guys sometimes blast me in the comments for that. I do not leave them on the floor. I just only have two hands, and one hand I'm flipping and one hand I'm filming, but don't worry, I go back. I need to be heading over to the shoes, but I figured we can look through a few racks of dresses first and see what we find. And yeah, I have found some really good things at this store, but again, like I've been saying, the prices are high, and it seems like every time I come they are getting higher, so I am having to be more and more selective as I come. I also always have a really hard time finding the half off tags, so you're seeing me give this a second chance. This is a Spanx dress. They do have this priced up, so I put it in my cart to take a look at it. That one I really turmoiled over, so we will come to that one and I'll let you know whether I pick it up or not. But yeah, I feel like they pull the 50% off tags off the rack very quickly, and I'm always seeing the workers in there. There's a lot of workers putting things on the racks, but there's also a lot of workers constantly pulling things off the racks. So I don't have any proof to back this up, but I feel like when the discount color flips, they start immediately pulling that color off the racks. I'm not sure why. I don't know what their business practices are. Maybe they're selling them to other thrift stores, maybe they're just getting rid of them, but I always have a hard time, like even when I come closer to the day that they switch the color tag, I still am having a hard time finding it, and sometimes they literally have bins of them that they've pulled off the rack. Okay, so this I am giving a look. This is a Tadashi Shoji. It's definitely a vintage dress, but it is absolutely beautiful. Tadashi Vintage and Tadashi Modern both can sell really well. Tadashi Vintage typically sits a little bit longer for me than modern day Tadashi, but this one with the deodorant stains I ended up leaving. If it weren't for that, I might have picked this up though. This Spanx dress, I'm still trying to figure out whether I am going to get it or not. I do think there was some profit there, but
well, I struck out in that rack as well, but let me show you a few things I really wanted to grab, and then I'll tell you why I didn't.
The first thing here is a $5.25 America tag. It just looked nice. I hadn't seen it before, so I looked it up. I decided to leave it behind. It was going to be half off. I just wasn't impressed by the sell-through rate, so that's why that one was left behind. This is a J. McLaughlin dress. I probably could have grabbed this. J. McLaughlin sells great for me, but for $12, I ended up leaving it. If it had been below $10, I probably would have grabbed it. Same with this Boston Proper dress. I do like selling Boston Proper, but not for $14. Under $10, I probably would have picked that one up too. This Garnet Hill gel dress was pretty nice, but it was very, very pilled. Not even something that's worth sweater shaving. Here's a J gel dress. I do like selling wherever collection, but at $7, again, that's just a bit too high. I would have grabbed that for under $5. And then this Bailey 41 or 44, I'm sorry, was a new brand to me. This looked like it would have sold, but I just wasn't willing to pay that price for it. Trying to see if maybe there was a hidden gem of a hat there, but certainly not, and very, very dusty. All right, let's head over and see what shoes I can find. Like I said at the beginning of the video, I do need some black and brown heels for work. I'm trying to see what I can find. I typically wear between like a 2 or 3 inch heel while at work. Those are cute, but they were just a little bit too small for me, or also I might have grabbed them. Heels are hard to find in stores because sometimes, you know, the heel can already be worn down pretty well. Obviously, while I'm looking for myself, I'm trying to see if there's anything here that is worth grabbing for resale. This store, since it is so big, has a pretty big shoe, you know, section. Those, you know, were a little bit worn on the toes. So I often can find things here, but it sometimes depends on the day. Those were cute. I don't think they ended up being my size, and they're a little bit more specific. I need, you know, a classic black or brown. All right, these were interesting. I do, as you guys know, love selling this brand. This is Merrell, and I was trying to determine if the wear, like the fuzziness, was intended or not. So I put those in my cart to look up a bit later because, I don't know, it looks like it could go either way. Just trying to see if we can make any good grabs here to make this trip worth it. But we do have Penguin, so it's already been, you know, a bit worth it for the day. That was priority number 1. These would have been cute. I would have worn these, but again, they're just, the sizes aren't what I need them to be. I do end up trying these once on. You can see me struggling with it, and I would have just walked right out of that. It did not fit me at all. Just to note, this store also has their shoes kind of separated. These I'm showing you, these Clarks I might have picked up for a little bit less of a price tag on those. But this store has their shoes separated by like heels, and then they have like a sneaker section, and then they have a sandal section. So you're just seeing the heels here. Heels also historically take a lot longer to resell, in my opinion. Let me know your comments down below. Do you agree with that? I just think they take longer. All right, this was interesting because this looked like it might have been, you know, a different European brand or something. I did end up looking those up, and I decided they didn't have resale value on them either. Really wishing I had been able to find some for myself, but unfortunately I did not find these today. So I moved over to the bags to see if there was anything worth grabbing. You know, in this store I see a lot of overpriced bags. Like there's a nice Kate Spade, but it was just too overpriced. Basically their entire back wall is just bags. The store is really easy to get overwhelmed in. Here's a really beat up fake Coach that was just not worth it at all. And here's an Anye bag that I do end up grabbing and looking at. If this had been a little less expensive, I might have taken a chance on it. It is pretty cute. Anye is hard because some bags can do really well, and then some bags sell for $15. So usually I will skip them unless it's, you know, a lower investment at $12. I just ended up leaving that one there too. But as you can see, the whole wall down the back is just bags. So it's really hard to go through. I'm sure if you're a bag seller, that'd be worth it. But for me, I usually just look at a few that catch my attention, and then I keep going from there. So back over to the shoes, just seeing if there's any sneakers, some cute, you know, Mickey Mouse shoes would have been great for Disney when I went earlier this year. But here's some Anus that I have seen, but I've never sold. These were, they had a lot of grass, and then you can see there's just a nail like straight through the bottom. So those were gonna be a hard no. There's that nail there. It even has a washer still on it. Somebody stepped on something. Hopefully they were okay. But if those had not had that and it looked like it was just grass, I probably would have gotten those because I think they would have cleaned off, you know, fine. Here's some Saludos. I could tell by the last couple letters there. They're super cute with these llamas, alpacas on the front, but the bottoms were completely beat. Like the yellowed midsole, you know how they get cracked and like smooth on the bottoms? You just feel like you're ice skating? yeah, that is going to be a hard no. All right, as I was going through the purses, I saw this one. It just jumped out as leather to me, and this is Madewell. It is in beautiful condition, nice leather bag. Madewell bags can do really well. They're one of the best-selling categories for Madewell, so I do end up grabbing this. I think it was like $10, but that was worth it to me. I think it should sell between like $40 and $50. There's another Anye bag that, again, I considered, but with the price tag, that one they had priced at $35, so that was a definite no as well. Now, do you see it? Do you see it? The find of the day, guys? OMG, Louis Vuitton, totally not fake, for $23. Guys, the stitching on this was terrible. It was not real leather. Like, they're so easy to spot, and they're so often faked. Just be careful. If you're out there buying them for yourself or buying them to resell, just be really careful. Especially those monogrammed Louis Vuitton bags just really are faked a lot. All right, here's a really nice Fossil bag. I don't know, I just like Fossil. It's good leather. This one I was going to get, but ended up finding a bit of a spot, so I left it behind. Here's an Anye belt. Somebody just donated their whole collection. This was pretty, but it had this cracking right in the middle, so I ended up leaving this behind as well. I spotted some tights for my daughter. She does wear school uniforms and she wears like skirts to school. So these will be great as a stocking stuffer for her.
All right, I'm getting a little worried that we're not finding much, but we found the Madewell bag. That's the one thing we have to resell. We have the penguin, so that's like the biggest thing. And we've got a couple stocking stuffers. So we're walking over to the kids section. I'm probably going to check the dresses first, and then we'll head over to the kids shoes because I usually really like shopping for kids shoes here.
Quickly looking for that holiday dress for my daughter. This was just a super cute little Minnie Mouse dress, but we need a dress for her to wear to Christmas Eve service. They usually have a decently good collection here, or selection, I should say, so I'm just trying to see what we can find for her. She's like a size 8, but she's really tall, so I'm looking for more on the 8 to 10 side of things, and yeah, you never know what you can find. Sometimes I can find really good deals here, and then other times things are going to be like super priced up, so I never really know. I often just get my kids' clothes stuff at like the bins, to be honest, so sometimes when I'm seeing thrifted dresses, I have no sense of reality with pricing anymore, so I'll be like, oh my gosh, $10. In reality, that would be a really good price, but for me, when I'm normally paying, you know, $1 or $2 at the bins, I'm like, oh dear. Yeah, I actually said at the beginning of the video that I had a dress for my daughter that I thought she was going to wear. That one's missing a belt. Unfortunately, that might have been a good grab for her. And we tried it on. I think I said the video was too small. I meant to say it was too big. So we're going to keep that for next year. And all of a sudden now I am needing to find her a new dress. So just seeing what we can find and really hoping for the best. If not, I'll probably go over to Target or, you know, Home Goods or something. I'm trying to see if I could make that work in any capacity, or if I really do just need to go to another one. And then I found this one. It's silver, it's sparkly. I think it would be super cute with some tights. It's $4.99, it's H&M, and I think it would fit her. It's just a nice little knit shift style. I'd be able to iron the bottom a little bit, and spoiler alert, I do get that. She wore it and it looked super cute on her. Here's just a Vineyard Vines that if it were not $13, I would have picked up for her and then resold when she was done with it. The kids' shoe section is one of my favorite in the store because sometimes they're not as marked up, but unfortunately for these Columbia boots, these were still $15, or else I would have grabbed those. If they were like $8 or less, I usually would list those for about $35. Lots and lots of snow boots. There was actually a couple with a pretty full cart next to me that I think might have been resellers that already went through this section. So they probably got all the good things, you know, good for them. They beat me over here, but just trying to see if maybe there's anything that they missed or that I could get instead, or maybe even things for my own kids. Always on the lookout for them as well, or, you know, last minute things I can throw in some of their Christmas bags. They usually each get a present that's just thrifted clothes and shoes that I've picked up over the years, and then they'll get a big bag for Christmas and a big bag for their birthday, and then we'll find things as we go as they need them. Not seeing too much yet over here today. They do have the girls and boys shoes separated. So going down here, I do need some new shoes for my son. So trying to see if there's anything I can find. Actually, the shoes he's wearing right now and my daughter, I got from this store. I was able to find a really cute pair of New Balance for him for just, you know, a couple dollars. I got pretty lucky. Those little Converse sell pretty well for me, especially the kids ones, those just standard high tops. But for $6.50, that's not a good enough margin for me. All All right, I do see these Sorel boots. I did not find a price tag immediately, which is probably why the other couple skipped them. I do end up digging into the bottom and I find one like all the way tucked down into the toe. So I end up grabbing those. I think they were maybe like $6 or so. These Crocs, I've mentioned before, the Handle It rain boots, I love picking up, but these were too scratched. If they're just dirty, I will get them, but it looked like something had like bit them or somebody poked them all over, so I left those behind. I was able to find another pair of Merrell. I've mentioned before I love selling kids Merrell shoes. They were a little bit scuffed on the toes, but honestly, somebody's still gonna buy these. They were only $6.50. I'm still gonna list them. I usually list them at like $35. I might list these for $30 instead, but I think they'll still sell between $20 and $25. All right, I hit a new rack of kids clothes and I was able to find this absolutely adorable mini Bowden dress. It was only $4. Mini Bowden, I like selling even more than like women's Bowden these days. It sells so well. That's gonna be beautiful for spring. And then I found this tea collection. It is a two-piece. It has little bloomers under it. So cute. I like selling tea collection. It is missing a waist tie, but oftentimes I just cut those off and list them without it, or I will just say, hey, you need to add a belt or something. So I'll get home and decide what I need to do. All right, zoomed out here for you guys. I see some new racks they just put out in the men's clothing. I do like selling just normal Polo Ralph Lauren and Ralph Lauren button downs, but they had these all priced up really high, unfortunately, at the store, but at like the bins, I will grab those. I actually just went to the bins a couple days ago, so I will have those video up and coming for you guys on my channel, and I grabbed a few of them in that haul, so you'll be seeing that soon, but at the prices that they're asking for them here, it's just not worth it. Men's button downs can be boring, I'm not gonna lie, but they're easy to list for me. They're easy to photograph. Typically, they often do need steamed, which is okay. And I can just copy and paste another listing and update, you know, the keywords, or not even the keywords, but just like the photos and stuff like that. All right, here is a linen. We're gonna come back to that. I'm gonna look that up. But just trying to see if I can see any goodies in here. You never know. Joseph Banks, I will grab at the bins also, but not gonna grab it at these, you know, retail prices. Here's another one that I am going to look up. That is Falconable. I am sure I'm saying that wrong. Somebody please forgive my French, but I have sold a jacket by Falconable before and it did really, really, really well. All right, I'm seeing some Bonobos pants. There was a time and a day that I would have grabbed all of those, but nowadays I just can't for this price. I'm having a really hard time moving the Bonobos pants. I think I've mentioned that a few times on my channel recently. All right, here is a really, really good find. Here is a Psycho Bunny sweatshirt. There was some Vintage Bros over here that either missed that or skipped that, which was kind of interesting. Usually that crowd will pick those types of things up. But when I saw these racks come out and they just like a moth to a flame, or like moths plural to a flame, they just, you know, grouped all on them. So I know these have already been picked through by resellers, but you know, we're gonna keep trying and see what we can find. Here's a nice Yankees Under Armour. Sometimes I'll grab that up at like the bins or something, but ended up passing on it today. Moving into a few sweaters. This definitely was a women's. I'm trying to see the material content here, but it was a little bit beat up also. Pretty pilly. Looking to have less projects in my life. I do still have quite a bit of inventory at home that I need to get listed. Plus, obviously, I have all that new bins inventory already. But at the time I was doing this thrift with me, I did not have all of those bins things sitting before. All right, I was trying to see if these would fit my husband, but they didn't. Plus, I'm not sure if I could talk him into wearing that color, but I was gonna maybe text him and see. Men's pants are another one that are sometimes hard. They're hard to get through because the tags are sometimes in weird places, and sometimes the sizes are hard to find. All right, here's an interesting one. These are Mugsy pants. I have never heard of that, and when I haven't heard of something in the thrift store, I usually tend to look it up. So I went back and grabbed those, and I decided that they could be a pretty decent seller. Here's a Jose Bank, you know, button down, or I'm sorry, a suit, a blazer jacket, and Yeah, so those Mugsy pants, it looked like they actually have a decent sell-through rate and could sell for $30 to $40 to $50, which is a pretty good margin for me. All right, this Lacoste was nice until I saw a big stain on it. Lacoste men's does better for me historically than their women's do. So I have a Lacoste skirt, like sitting, that I cannot get to sell. All right, this is just H&M label of graded goods log, but this looked really nice and was my husband's size, so I do end up grabbing that, and I put that in his Christmas present. I had an entire like style bundle for him. It had a leather jacket, it had some new sunglasses that he needed, it had a nice belt in it, that ratchet belt, if you remember me finding in Thriftsmiths, I actually put in there, as well as that Guess leather jacket, and he's actually been wearing that jacket constantly. He loves it. I ended up finding another pair of those Mugsy pants, which is great because it'll make listing them pretty easily. I can do them both at the same time. So they were a little bit priced up, but I do end up picking up both the gray pair and the blue pair. You know, it gives me a chance to learn about a new brand, which is pretty, you know, exciting for me. All right, going back to another rack to see what I can find. Highlight, I picked up some shorts once, and I have not been able to sell those, so maybe I shouldn't have picked them up. But still seeing what else I can find. Here's a pair of Abercrombie denim. That is an older tag, or else I might have grabbed it, or if it had been less, you know, expensive. Here's a really, really great find. These are Salomon snow pants. Salomon is best known for their shoes, but they make a whole range of outdoorsy activewear type items, and I'm really surprised these are still on the rack. So I absolutely grabbed those. They're in great condition. I cannot wait to get them listed, but I need to get them listed quickly because we are headed into snow season, obviously. Some Lucky Brand, I will pick up Lucky Brand jeans like at the bins. I will pick up different styles of Levi's and American Eagle at the bins. So those brands I will pick up for maybe like $3 or less when it comes to jeans from men's and women's. Some styles I might be willing on paying more for that, but just general American Eagle, Lucky Brand, Levi's, I won't pay more than like $3 for. Levi's especially are the ones that have some denim that I will sell or pay a bit more for because they will sell higher for me. Looks like somebody donated their entire sweatpants collection, which is great, but obviously sweatpants aren't a real high seller for men's when it comes to the price they will sell for. But even those were Adidas new with tags. The store had them for $17.50. You could find a pair of Adidas new with tags for $17.50 anywhere at an outlet. I don't know, it just seems a little bit crazy. They probably saw the retail like that, you know, they wanted $31 for that Nike puffer. All right, over to another rack here. We're looking for button downs. I did end up putting those other button downs back. Boss, I'm not going to pay $12 for it. This is another J. Crew linen that I did not get at $14, but I would have gotten if it was less expensive. All right, here was a good one, interesting to take note of. This is Cricut, C-R-I-Q-U-E-T. It looked like it could sell on eBay. I decided to leave it there for the price they had for it, but if it had been a few dollars less, same with that on Tuckit, I'm not gonna pay $10, but I probably would have paid $5 for both of those shirts. They were just a little bit out of my price range today. Here was a really fun vintage sweater that I probably could have made money on. I just got a little bit nervous because I have some other vintage like grandpa sweaters sitting right now, so I would really like those other ones to sell out before I, you know, dive into some more. And then once they start selling, I'll be willing to pick those up. Don't worry, I go back and get that sweater. I'm gonna keep saying it so you guys don't get worried. This just looked really nice, but yeah, didn't end up grabbing it. All right, kudos to the queen who was outfit building and left these on the edge of the rack. These just looked so comfy, so cozy, and I wanted to shout out whoever was shopping there, although they should have put their stuff back. All right, here is a Vince. I was able to get over to a women's new rack that they put out. This is a Vince merino wool like shrug sweater. It needs a tiny bit of deep pilling, you know, some sweater shaving, but overall it was in great condition. I saw this, I was shopping over at that new rack, and this literally caught my eye. I don't even know how, but this is a cute little Free People boho top. I do end up grabbing this. It's in great condition, definitely oversized. I think it's like a medium. I probably didn't need to pay $7.50 for it, honestly, but it got me. I thought maybe that was a Spirit jersey from the large spell out across the back, but it wasn't.
Well, that escalated quickly. We had like nothing for most of the trip, and I was just kind of on my way back to checkout, and I was able to stop at some new carts, and I've got some stuff to show you guys. I also need to sort my cart, and I need to get going because I still need to do my stocking stuffers. Also, for any of the Thriftmas watchers. This is the like 100% Silk Banana Republic top that we got that one day. And this skirt, I actually got it at this thrift store like years ago. So it's just kind of fun. And somebody just complimented me on it. But okay, let's sort the cart.
I don't remember if I mentioned, but I came from work. That's why I was dressed like that. All right, so a few things I found on those new racks. For $20, I decided to give this a look up because it is a J. Crew collab with Telagno 1900, 1800. This, keep in the back of your brains because it looks like it is a decent collab, but for $20, that was not going to be worth it. This is a really beautiful, like cottagecore tiered dress, and this is Everlane. For $12, I do end up picking this one up because it was so beautiful. I think I'll be able to wear it. I think it's a size medium. Time to check out. Let's go.
All right, so it was like snowing earlier, and now it is basically just raining and yucky, and I'm hungry and I want a hot chocolate. So anyway, I'm headed to Target next, and Starbucks hot chocolate is probably gonna be my first stop. I don't drink coffee, in case anyone cares. Okay, so we ended up getting 12 items, and I was surprised that we ended up with so much menswear. That's always kind of exciting. I spent $83.17. I did end up having a 10% off coupon, which helped just a little bit. And so that makes every item about $6.90 cost of goods. So higher than I would love, higher than I like, but I like to think I was pretty selective. We got some good things because that includes like the snowboarding pants. Sad about the Psycho Bunny. I had like done all this research before I checked out to make sure that I thought it was legit. And then as I checked out, I realized that the like kangaroo pocket was like the stitching was coming out. Probably fixable, but the way it was going to be difficult. And I'm like, you know, I don't want to deal with it. That's probably why the other guys had passed on it anyway. So I left that one behind. So that was going to be like $15 that was taken out of it. But like the Solomon pants, we got a couple pairs of shoes. And then I'm also just excited. Penguin, check. Skylar's dress, check. Got a couple stocking stuffers, got a sweater for my husband. So all in all, I'm feeling pretty good about it. But I'm ready to go finish my errands and get home. So thank you so much for hanging out with me again. I have a lot of fun videos coming. You will probably be seeing this after Christmas, if I'm counting correctly. So happy holidays. I hope you're having an amazing January, and I'll see you next time. Bye.